Hey, it's Liam Killen. My video is focused mostly on how to create music, showing you basically every step of the way. But this video is a little bit different. It's how to get that creation in front of as many eyeballs as possible. Just so you know what you're getting into here, this video will have 3 parts. Part 1 is my past experience with social media and music promotion. Part 2 is how I tie that into SoundCloud. And Part 3 is my current method of engaging and promoting myself through SoundCloud and other social medias. All 3 of these parts really tie in together, so I suggest that you listen to all of them to really understand my experience and where I'm coming from. I made a few mistakes along the way, and I don't want you guys to make the same mistakes, so yeah. And this is coming from someone who's still pretty small on SoundCloud. I haven't been using it for that long. I just recently started releasing music on SoundCloud, and even more recently started engaging with people and sending them private messages and things like that. It's becoming less and less of, what's the right word? A secret? That's right, it's becoming less and less of a secret to make it in the music business these days. You kind of have to wear more than one hat. In this case, you're the creator and you're also the promoter. It's exceedingly rare. In fact, in my 12+ years in the music industry, I have yet to meet someone who just creates music and then maybe has like a manager to take care of everything else. From what I've seen, it just doesn't exist anymore, and to a certain degree, I'm not sure if it ever really existed. The artist always had something to do outside of creating art, but obviously now it's just much more extreme. And this especially applies to someone who's just starting in the music business, just starting to try and get their music out there. Forget it, you're gonna have to promote yourself, that's just the reality. Speaking from my own experience, I probably spend about 50% of my time creating music, and the other 50% promoting it, posting it on social medias, stuff like that. There's basically just no way around it at this point. If you want people to listen to your music, you have to find a way to put it in front of their face in as many different ways as possible. When we post something, most of our following just doesn't see it because there's too much content out there. So ideally you want to post across several relevant social medias, SoundCloud being one of them. One of my main points in this video though is to discourage you from paying to promote your music on SoundCloud. And I'm specifically talking about this constant flow of new YouTubers who claim to have like a fast track to get your music out. Everyone seems to have their new foolproof way to promote their music, and I think it's just a little bit of a scam. And obviously I wouldn't discourage you for no reason. Like, I've had experience with this kind of stuff, and this is the next part I'm gonna get into. I've been on Instagram for years now, and I've always used it as a tool to promote myself. And before I got into music production, I was mainly a drummer, and so that's what my account was all about. A few different topics were my life as a session drummer, different beats that I came up with. I was posting pretty much every day, and I was pretty good. Here are the mistakes that I made with Instagram. I admit it. I paid for a bot to constantly engage with people every day. Everyone was doing it, and people are still doing it today, actually. I highly suggest that you do not do it. Honestly, I'm realizing that bots are terrible. They're the enemy. I think that they're one of the reasons why all these different social medias have to crack the whip on us in a way. Otherwise, people are just gonna take advantage of the system. So in conclusion, no bots. So what did the bot do? It would automatically engage with other people's content on a constant basis, so I didn't have to do it myself. It actually did work. It did drive up my engagement, but I'm pretty sure it was engagement from other bots. So that's a big no-no. Another mistake I made is I did the whole follow unfollow thing, which bit me in the ass. This is pretty much old news at this point, but for those of you who don't know about this bogus method, I manually went to other giant drummers accounts and followed all of their followers. Naturally, a lot of these people followed me back because I was posting quality beats on a daily basis. So a few days later after following them, I would unfollow them so that I don't look like a spammy account that's following 7,000 people, and most of them would remain a follower on my account. At this point, I thought the system was working great because more followers, more numbers equals bigger opportunities, right? What I didn't realize is that your follower count doesn't really matter at all. And especially now. The Instagram algorithm is so strong now that the only thing that really matters is your engagement, specifically
organic engagement.
Anyway, so eventually I gained over 8,000 followers. I'm pretty sure most of them were bots or drummers. So the super annoying thing that happened here, first of all, I spent all that money, it was wasted. And second of all, when I switched the content of my account from drumming to production and electronic instruments and stuff like that, I had all these inactive bots and drummers that weren't engaging with my account at all. So basically every time that I posted new content, I was getting like less than 1% engagement. Because of this, I'm pretty sure that Instagram flagged me as like a useless bot, maybe spammy account, in which case my reach went out the window, which comes down to when I posted something, no one saw it. So to get my engagement back, I had to manually unfollow all of these bots and inactive drummers on my account. Literally thousands of them. It took a few days, but it worked. Now I have a lot less followers, but because my engagement is so high, there's actually more people that are seeing my content. It's kind of funny how that works, but yeah. Which is why now the amount of followers that you have isn't as important on Instagram as it used to be. My engagement rate now is pushing 10%, which is like exceptionally high. And if I keep posting quality content, chances are it's just gonna keep going up. I'm gonna gain more followers, all that good stuff. And we're talking about real engagement here now. So there's nothing better than actual people asking you questions, posting comments on your wall, maybe tagging you or sharing your content. Instagram recognizes all this and they realize that your account is valuable, and so your content will be pushed in front of more screens. Okay, let's tie all this in with SoundCloud. Can you guess what my favorite color is? Yellow? 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 It's not yellow though. I'm seeing a lot of these fast track ways to get 1,000 real followers with real engagement. I'm just not buying it. And I'm thinking like, why would I risk going down that same road again? What I've learned is that the fast track 90% of the time is not real. There really aren't any secrets. You really just have to put in the time and engagement in order to get a real following, at least when you start. And all of this time includes putting in the hours to create awesome music that you vibe with, spending the time to engage with real people whose music you actually enjoy, promoting your music by constantly posting it on different social medias. That being said though, I'm not trying to discourage you from consuming content that you think is gonna help you on SoundCloud. I'm just saying be wary if someone tells you they have a fast track and it costs 25 bucks or whatever, and
it's going to be the best thing that ever happens to you.
Take it with a grain of salt. Including this video, by the way. Another important point here I'd like to stress again is that because of my past experience with Instagram and other social medias, I'm a firm believer that it's all about manual engagement. You have to do it yourself. You have to be there actually engaging with these people. It's really important. You need to be that person posting, and you also need to be that person genuinely engaging with things that you like. This is what I've been doing across all of my social media accounts for the past several months, and I can tell you it's made a world of difference for every single account. I have an actual community of people that are engaging with me, asking me questions, liking my stuff, sending me private messages. Some of my followers know that if they pass by my hometown, I actually welcome them to my place to jam. In fact, I've done that in the past. Here's a clip. Like, I'm really trying to be as genuine and friendly and helping as possible with all of these people because they're real people. I've had a SoundCloud account for years, but I've basically just been using it for private links and not as an actual social media. I've just started really utilizing the platform to release my own music, but I think more importantly, engaging with actual music makers. And I've been doing that for maybe like 2.5 weeks now, and I've been seeing great results. A couple weeks ago I had about 50 followers, and now I have just over 120, I think. And that's in about maybe 2.5 weeks. There's a lot more activity on my account, so like actual posts, actual comments from real people, and it just keeps going up. So you might be asking, well, how much time a day do I actually spend on SoundCloud? I'm glad you asked, that's a good question. I actively seek out people's music that I'm genuinely interested in for about 30 minutes, almost every day. So how do I do that? I'll go to an artist who has a ton of followers, click on their follow list, and individually click on the people with stars, because that way I know that it's a real account and not a bot, and I'll check their music. If I like it, I'll click on the private message link and I'll send them a message. Maybe ask them a question, compliment their music, an actual personal message to that person, so not something that you copy paste to everybody, because that's not very genuine. Although I guess you can do that if you want, but I don't do that. A lot of people won't engage with you, but for the people that do, now you have a connection with that person. Oftentimes they'll like or comment on your music if you have some sick beats. They might even follow you. I've quickly realized in the past couple weeks that SoundCloud is one of the #1 ways to connect with other music makers, which for me is really important because I have a YouTube channel and they might find some of that content helpful. Also, if you have other social media accounts, which I know you do, it doesn't end there. If your account looks super clean, it's very likely that people will click on your other social media links, and they might even engage with content. So for example, on my page, my YouTube is linked right here, as well as my Instagram, Twitter, and my website. In my experience, the followers that go cross-platform, so let's say from SoundCloud to Instagram and then they follow you there, those people are really important because they're showing real interest in your content. Since I've started engaging like this on SoundCloud, my follower count and engagement has gone up across my social media, so like everywhere. So once again, I know I'm repeating myself here, but it's really just about putting in the work. There's definitely something fishy about paying 25 bucks to get a ton of engagement, which may or may not actually be real. Like for example, there's a bunch of accounts on SoundCloud that I've seen that have like hundreds of thousands of views for a couple of their tunes, but there's no engagement, like there's no comments. So you basically just know that it's a bunch of bots, and that's just money wasted. Real engagement. I'd like to thank you guys for watching this video. Hopefully my experience was helpful for you. Most of my videos are in the creative realm, so if you're into that sort of content, please like and subscribe. Although maybe there'll be a few more videos in this direction as well. But yeah, I put out videos all the time, music software, cool, new, out of the ordinary gear, electronic music. We'd love to have you on board, and yeah, see you in the next one. Peace.